Hi folks, Tim here again from High End Cheap Tech. Today we're once again looking at the phone we looked at last night. I'll link that video in the description below and at the end of this video. So either way you'll be able to find it where we did the unboxing. This one I just did some testing and looking at the hardware that this thing actually has, or at least what Android apps report it as having versus what they claim, because there's a it's kind of iffy as to whether this thing has 4 gig of RAM and 64 gig of storage. A couple apps kind of fell for some of it, but or at least one app did. The cameras are definitely not. There's one rear camera and one front, a 5 meg and a 2 meg pixel, and that's going to be it. Let's get right to the video. Trying to make this as short as possible tonight. We're not reaching any conclusions. I have a lot of other testing to do on this. Battery test, you know, how long it lasts. Maybe play around with it some more. Maybe find out what's really under the hood on it. And that's going to be all. So, let's do that right now. We'll cue the intro. Alright folks, as I mentioned in the intro, we're going to check out the actual hardware that's on this thing by going through a few of these little hardware apps. Some of them I've used for a long time, some of them I haven't. On the little P20 knockoff here. First one's Ada64. We're going to blast through these rather quick because they're going to be pretty repetitive. Yeah, 1 gig of RAM. Yeah, available memory. Yeah. Internal storage space, 5.3 gig. I don't remember the last time a phone came out with that, unless it was like 3-4 years ago. CPU, not an octa-core. It's a 4-core, running at 1.3 gigahertz. This is no powerhouse chip here, folks. And then obviously the display, 480 by 960. They promised a lot more of a display, you know, if you go to the website. So we're going to just leave it at that with the Ada deal. Get out of that and move on to Droid Info. See what it comes up with. Yeah, everything's fine here until you get scrolled down to where it says Lollipop MR1 8.1? I don't think so. And once again, it sees the display in the same way. It shows it as a MT6580 quad core, once again at 1.3. So, you know, memory as they call it. Of course, a pop-up ad. That's how they make their money. Once again, 967, roughly a gig. Total internal 5.1. Yeah. Okay. Now, let's move on to CPU-Z. Now, CPU-Z is going to come up with something a little different. Yep, it is a MediaTek processor with 4 cores. That's the same, but now let's move on to the device. What? It's got the same display resolution on a 4.47 inch display. That tells you how old the phone they kind of ripped this off from was, and then they modified these to feed back 4 gig of RAM, 64 gig of internal storage. It doesn't have that, folks. Up at the top it says Android version 8.1. We think not. And now here's kind of a telling thing. It doesn't tell you, and none of these do. I didn't show you in the other ones, but none of these will show you the milliamp, the total capacity. Doesn't exist. Can't find it. Alright, so we're going to get out of CPU-Z and check the last one here, which is My Device, I believe it's called. And we'll check the OS first. Yeah, that's kind of telling, isn't it? Lollipop and a release date of 2014, even though it's version 8.1. That's kind of weird. It's the 8.1 Lollipop. Must have been very rare indeed. And CPU, same thing. The ARM7, 1 gig of RAM. Yeah. We just don't know. And our battery. Yep. Yeah, no extra info there. Oh, and look, and we have an advertisement here, in case you've never heard of Facebook. And storage once again. Yeah. 5.18. We've used 2.4, which I'm not even sure about that. I highly doubt you can get Lollipop on a phone with only 2.4 plus all the apps I've installed on here. Alright, so that's all of them. Now, I'm not reaching any conclusions tonight. All I'm saying is the info they give you. Oh, there was one more thing we should look at. Who had the best? I think it might have been My Device. I don't know. We'll go down to camera here. Check this one. Yeah. The rear camera, and there's one rear camera, 5 megapixel. And the front camera, 2 megapixels. Nothing to write home about here, folks. So, that's all I've got. Like I said, not reaching any conclusions here. I got a lot more testing to do, battery life, things like that. The display isn't all that bad. I mean, as you can see, I've been putting apps on here kind of left and right and trying things out, installing stuff. It does most things rather well. I haven't had any stalling from it, but this is definitely not to be compared with any other phone that has a model number of P20. You might want to look at my previous video on the A3 Umidigi. You will get 2 gig of RAM there and expandable storage and things like that, and a little bit better cameras, like a whole lot better. So we're going to leave it at that. Say thank you for watching. Like the video, or give us a thumbs up, subscribe please, and have a great night.
I've been flying from town to town.